Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Godzilla figure, or at least related to Godzilla, instead of a Jurassic figure this time. And today we're going to be taking a look at another Playmates Monsterverse figure, part of the newer wave of figures that we're getting this year that were first revealed at New York Toy Fair earlier this year. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Vark. Part of the newer Monsterverse collection and part of the show Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So this is super exciting. Playmates is finally making figures of some of the monsters, I assume some of the monsters, from the show Monarch Legacy of Monsters, and that is so cool. The first one we're getting is the Vark, which is definitely one of my favorites. No, I have not seen the show yet fully, but I have seen many reactions to the show and a bunch of clips from the show all over YouTube. So I got a good feel of what the show is about, and I got a lot of cool glimpses of one of these new creatures, this new Titan, apparently called the Vark, and it is a really cool looking animal. To me, it looks like a mix between a pangolin because of the way the armor it is, and also a star-nosed mole, I think is what it's called, because of the little dangly things on the front of its snout right there. And it's a digging animal, and it goes in the snow, so that's like really cool. So I'm super excited that we're finally have this monster first introduced in a show in figure form. So that's awesome. First things first, for the packaging, I want to just appreciate how gorgeous this Monsterverse packaging is. It is so cool and very vibrant and eye-catching on the shelf. And by the way, I found this at Target. And this thing just looks awesome. You got the awesome Monsterverse logo and the M on the back. And you got a bunch of monsters. You got Godzilla, you got Kong, Mothra, the Ion Dragon, and King Ghidorah, all looking awesome. I wonder if the fact that they have the Ion Dragon on the packaging, I wonder if that hints that we're going to get that monster in figure form from Playmates. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that would be amazing. Here at the bottom shows you the Monarch Legacy of Monsters logo, because this new packaging of just plain Monsterverse figures, since there's no movie tied to these, it just kind of gives you a logo of what each creature is from, whether it's from a movie or from a show. That's really awesome. You got a bunch of logos here at the bottom: Playmates, Toho, Legendary. An awesome picture of the Vark, which looks super cool, and obviously the name of the animal, fully posable and articulated, so really awesome. On both sides you got the Vark picture as well as the Monarch Legacy of Monsters logo. Here in the back, a nice color palette for the back right here with the pink and the blue. You got the fully posable and articulated branding right there. Nice render of the figure, and you got the title from the show Monarch Legacy of Monsters, and a cool little bio. I love when toys have these. This one says Vark: from beneath the snowy tundra, the Vark erupts to unleash its freezer tendrils, locking onto enemies and turning them into ice. So again, pretty reminiscent, or basically just referencing what this new monster does. I like how it's another snow animal. It just digs through the snow. That's so cool. And then it pretty much uses like these little things, and it just like sucks the heat out of everything, which eventually leaves it as like a freezing or like a frozen figure. That's so cool. It's super unique. And I think that's why they always say that the Titans are usually ones with like superpowers in some capacity. So I think this is considered a Titan, which it doesn't look too big when you watch it in the show, but I wonder if it gets bigger or something like that. I don't know. But either way, it's a cool looking animal regardless. You got the more logos back here and a bunch of figures in the wave. It shows you the real feel Godzilla and Kong figures. Debating if I want to get Godzilla or not, but as of right now, I think I'm good when it comes to Godzilla stuff. I only just want like new monsters at this point, since I already have a Godzilla and a Kong. Then you got the new figures as part of this wave. You got a blue Mothra from King of the Monsters. You got Burning Godzilla from King of the Monsters, and a re-release of Kong from Kong Skull Island. All cool figures. These two are essentially just repaints. Not sure if I'm going to get them yet. As of right now, I'm holding off because I only wanted to get the Vark because it was a new creature. But still really cool regardless. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this packaging. Let's go ahead and open up this figure and take a closer look at it. Alrighty, so here we have the Vark out of the package. I am really digging this figure now that it's out of the box. It has amazing sculpt work. I just love the way it's sculpted. The colors are really nice. They're very simple, but they're very nice. And just everything about it, just pretty much it represents the Vark from Legacy of Monsters very well, in my opinion. It's just everything about it is really nice. I really love the detail they did with the little, like little plates, these little things on its back. You know, I'm not even sure what you'd really call them. They're not really spikes. I guess they're more like little plates or little flaps in the skin, but they act as armor. I know that for sure. But I just love the way the Playmates did that. They look really good, and the shading based on your light source, it just highlights all of the different shards right here, and it makes it pop. It just brings out the sharpness in the sculpt, which looks really good, especially here on the neck. Since they're a lot smaller, you got some smaller ones in between the larger ones, which is really cool. Especially right here, looks really nice, and then all over the rest of the body. And it has like a really cool texture to it when you rub your fingers against it. Even some more on the tail itself, which looks really nice. And then even on the limbs, they're a lot more flatter, or more flattened, I guess is what I meant to say, against the body, which looks really good. Really reminiscent of a pangolin. That's what I've noticed based on this animal, this titan, I guess. But the limbs, they look really great with these little flaps, plates of armor on the body. Even on the underside, again, they're a lot more flattened, but they look really nice. And it's a lot more smoother here on the underside. Could be just the plastic, but I don't know, it just feels pretty nice, just based on the sculpt work on the body. And you even got some more of the little stuff here on the bottoms of the hands and feet, which look really great. So Playmates added a lot of detail to this Vark, which looks really great. Even here on the top of the head, it has like this scale looking look to it, which I don't think it's supposed to represent scales, just maybe more of the smaller versions of these little plates on it, which look really nice. And then here at the front, which is pretty much where, like, you know, the interesting part of this monster is, it has like these really star-nosed mole-looking appendages coming from its face, which is obviously where the inspiration came from when the design of this, we're designing this creature. And it looks really great, and it's pretty accurate to the show as well, because it has like 6 on each side. And I like how they're all spread out, because it's like it's roaring at you or getting ready to suck the heat out of everything, like how it does in the show. And the amount of detail here on the front of the snout, the little wrinkles in the skin right here, even right here at the lower jaw, just looks really nice. And you got some smaller little tendrils here at on this side as well. And these ones do not have the blue dots, and I looked that up online, and that is accurate. These ones do not have the glow in the dark little bioluminescent tips of these little tendril things, like the other ones do. And the teeth are nicely done too. They could have been a bit sharper, sure, but they're not terrible. The inside of the mouth, I kind of wish it was painted, because that would have made it look a bit more like pop, I guess, in my opinion. But still, it looks pretty nice. At least the darkness around the mouth right here kind of highlights the teeth a little bit. And I like how each of these 6 tendrils on each side are tipped with like this really bright blue, which I like that, because it makes it stand out from all the dark colors on the rest of the body. It actually makes it look like they are glowing, like in the show. So that is really cool. Even the eyes, like a blue color with that brown on the surrounding it, which is really cool, kind of making it stand out a little bit. So I really love the head on this one, as well as just the detail of the little plates on its back. On the other side, you get some more nice detail. But yeah, really nicely done, Playmates. And this figure has some heft to it too. It has like some weight to it, kind of similar to the Kong with Beast glove that Playmates came out with earlier last year. It has some weight to it too, and this one also has some weight, so that's really cool. Kind of makes it feel like it's a bit of a higher quality figure in a way. But yeah, The colors are really nice as well. I like the brown for the rest of the mouth and the little tendrils they have here, as well as the brown around the eye, the light blue for the glow-in-the-dark tips, and then the eyes. And the rest of the body is like this really dark navy blue, I would say. Grayish navy blue, but it's a darker shade, and it has like this really light, I guess a really light blue. I'm not even sure what you call it. Not really a dry brush, but just a light blue tone for the top, which kind of highlights the little plates sticking out a little bit more, which is really cool. I'm not sure if that's supposed to represent snow, maybe, or just a different color choice for the animal. I don't know, but the light color really brings out the shading on these little plates a bit more, in my opinion. And you got like a dark gray for the claws. They're really big claws on both the hands and feet, which is perfect for digging underneath the snow. And yeah, I really like this figure a lot. It's probably one of my favorite of these newer Playmate figures, I would say. Really nicely done. One thing I will say, kind of tiny little nitpicks, is that I wish the tail was a bit longer, because the Frostvark in the show did have a bit of a longer tail. Just a little nitpick though, it's not anything too terrible. And then the other thing is the position of the limbs. I feel like this one's a little bit too squat down, like he's leaning towards the ground for something. I kind of wish that maybe the limbs were a bit more straighter, kind of like this, where except the foot would be more flat. So at least it would be standing more upright, I guess, like a kind of like your usual like giant cat or a bear, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Not so squat down like this. Same with the hind limbs, they would have to be a bit longer too. Just a little tiny little nitpick, but it's nothing terrible at all. It doesn't really take away from this figure, in my opinion. But yeah, I also just can't get over just how interesting and unique this design of a monster is for a Godzilla franchise, I guess, for the MonsterVerse. It's a really cool design. This is definitely one of my favorite monster designs within Legacy of Monsters for sure. That, along with the Ion Dragon. So, yeah, I like that a lot. Articulation, you got a little bit. It would have been nice to have some for like the little head, but we do have a neck joint. Kind of goes down about that far. Doesn't really go side to side, and I think you can twist it. So that's really cool. So a little bit of head movement there, not a whole lot, so you can't really get into a lot of cool dramatic poses, unfortunately. The shoulder joint right here can move forward about that far, back about that far before the body sculpt kind of prohibits it. Then you got an elbow joint forward and backwards, as well it rotates all the way around 360. And kind of like what I said before about the stance, I really wish there was wrist articulation, so you kind of bend it just so you can kind of make it stand upright, kind of similar to how Shimo is, which we'll do comparisons in a little bit. The hind limbs can move forward and backwards about that far, pretty good motion. And you got a knee joint that just moves forward and backwards, as well as rotate. And too bad there isn't any ankle joints for the foot. And then the tail can just move up and down, a little bit of left and right, and it can rotate. So, you know, pretty typical articulation and stuff. But Playmates does really good articulation for their figures if they really want to. Some of their figures don't have a whole lot. They just have a lot more basic joints on them, but I really like the added joints to some of the pieces on this one, like for the limbs. But yeah, really nice figure overall. For comparisons, first we're going to compare it with another Ice Titan from the MonsterVerse. We got Shimo right here. As you can see, they look really great together. Two Ice Titans, I guess. They have some sort of ice ability, somewhat. Shimo is more of an ice monster, actually, than the Frostvark is. But they look really great together. I think of taking a picture of these two in the snow would be really cool. It'd be pretty sick. And as you can see, I kind of wish the Frostvark was a bit more upright, kind of like how Shimo is. But that's just in my opinion. And then next, we'll just compare it with the classic MonsterVerse Godzilla. The best Godzilla, in my opinion. But, yeah, they look really great together. Now, one thing I will say that the Frostvark in the show was definitely pretty small. I mean, it was bigger, you know, in terms of a human, but it was definitely much smaller when you think about how big Godzilla really is. So, I really like how Playmates doesn't really focus a whole lot on accuracy when it comes to scale. Like they make it pretty, I guess it's not perfect, but I like how the Vark is big to where it's like really compatible with Godzilla. Kind of makes it feel like it's more of a Titan than whatever that small scale was in the show. But that's just me. I really like how big it is compared to Godzilla, and they do look really great together. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this review of the Vark, everyone. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but yeah, I really like this one. I do recommend it if you guys are a Monsterverse fan or collect all these Playmates Godzilla figures. This guy should be at a bunch of Walmarts and Targets right now, along with the others in the wave, so keep an eye out for more, or keep an eye out for the Vark if you want to look for that yourself. But yeah, I really recommend it. It's a really cool one. It's a really interesting, unique looking animal within the Monsterverse. And I'm hoping they'll do more from the show, because I really like the design of this one. And Playmates did a really good job at their first attempt of this figure. It looks really good. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for the next review.